So we're still at anchor. The sun's out, so that's nice. The rain seems to have gone. Yesterday, early evening, we had a bit of a dragging incident, which was nothing major. So I think as long as you sort of deal with it straight away, if you drag, I don't think it's a major problem. I think what it was, we were spinning around on these big waves quite a bit, and the anchors maybe rolled over and got covered in a lot of seaweed. So when we had to pull it up and move, it was absolutely covered. We had to like drag it all off. And then we went forward a bit closer in, tried to find some sandy patch to drop our anchor on and re-anchor, and it has not moved since, so we haven't dragged at all. It was really rough in the night, and it was gusted, I don't know, in the 30s and stuff. It wasn't too bad really, not as bad as I anticipated, but yeah, a bit rolly, spinning around quite a bit, but yeah, it's okay. I stayed up quite late just to keep watching the anchor alarm and stuff, just because I was just concerned in case it dragged again, but it hasn't. I'm Nikki, and this is my gorgeous family. Chris, Bo, Bear, and our salty sea dog, Rosa. We are sailing around the world on Pickle, an old catamaran we bought and did up after my major life-changing moment when I caught meningitis. Subscribe and enjoy the ride.
Enjoy it, Howie. I want to swim.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so good. And yesterday we had a bit of an incident with the dog. Chris took the dog in, and there's some massive waves on the surf, and he wasn't holding on to the dog, so when they come to a standstill, the dog's used to sort of obviously jumping off, and then we brought the tender in, but he jumped off and a big wave took the tender on top of the dog. So Chris had to jump out and drag the dog from under the tender, which is obviously ridiculously, stupidly bad. So this morning I took the dog for a walk instead, and obviously was really careful going through the waves and going in, and then held on to the dog to make sure it didn't jump out, and I got off early and I walked the tender in through the waves and held the dog in the tender so it didn't jump off and nothing happened bad to anybody. So the kids have not been off the boat or anything yet, so just because the surf's so bad, we don't want to risk anybody getting hurt if the tender turned over or whatever. They're dying to go for a swim, but we're just waiting for the swell to settle down a little bit. Maybe they could later, probably with strong winds, you can have like a day or two of then big swells, can't you, afterwards? So we'll just have to see. It's nice and warm, we've been playing games, doing some homeschooling, getting bored. Yeah, that's it, got wet, got lots, everything's wet. The dog was all scared and wet yesterday, obviously, after his terrible incident. Something to learn from, isn't it? So he's had a good wash down. Lots of wet clothes hanging out in the sun to dry. Everything's got a bit wet. But yeah, I'll show you where we are. It seems to calm down quite a lot. So no massive big waves anymore or swells. There's a little bit, but it's sort of rolling. It's not so bad. Lovely warm winds, can't moan about the weather really. Blue skies, sun's out. Can't really see the waves from here, they're quite large on the beach actually, I'll show you.
I want to dive through the waves.
See, you want to dive?
Waves on the beach.
You can't really see from here, can you? But they're actually quite high. When I got in today, when I got to like, there was up to like my chest height. And I had to jump in to get, you know, through the waves. Take it out past the waves to make sure that it wasn't bumping around before I put the dog in. So yeah, a bit rolly. See big rolls. I don't think you can probably see the swell. Probably not. But it's nice and protecting the cockpit anyway. So yeah, so we're just hanging about today, having a relaxing day, do some more homeschool with the dog. Yeah, everybody's okay. Should be able to go in the next day or two onto Audrian.
Are you going to jump in? You got him, Bo. One, two, three, go!
After making many wonderful memories, we found our weather window. We left Cabaret after a final beautiful evening walk looking over the bay, and we sailed on through the Raz De Sein and to Lesconil. You in blackberries?
Yeah. Yeah, just let everything in one too.
Look, we found a little castle on the hill.
Wow! I'll show them guys. Show guys pickle.
Look at beautiful pickle out there.
Oh my god, guys, we're so lucky being here. Tomorrow we're leaving though. I'm sad because it's just so beautiful.
You're always sad to leave somewhere new.
I know.
But we're going somewhere new.
Yep. That sign behind us say danger.
Ah, it's got a cliff drops along here, you've got to be careful.
Ah!
So bye bye.
Bye!
Just heading out, sails up, we're leaving Cabaret and sailing all day, probably until late, maybe going to Lesconil if we make it. I just thought I'd show you this coastline, it's really beautiful. What a view, isn't that lovely? There's the key winkles. There we go, I'll vlog later, show you how it all went. We had a super passage and we passed through the Raz De Sein very smoothly. No problems, a little bit of bumpy rough waves for a little while, but literally a couple of minutes and we was out the other side and sailing on to Lesconil. We arrived just as it was getting dark and squeezed ourselves into the only available space. It felt good and it was a very beautiful, quaint little fishing town.
Walk a few kilometres to do our laundry and everybody's really tired.
Merci. Buying French bread look from this place.
We had so much fun visiting all around the little town and exploring all the beautiful little markets.
Getting a bracelet engraved with my name on.
How brilliant is that?
I know, a memory forever.
Couple of moon first.
Yes.
Yeah. And here.
Yeah.
And then star after.
Yes. Thank you.
Stars up across it, yeah?
Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
What do you think, Bear? It's good, isn't it?
Are you getting one, Bear? Or... I don't know.
I think he was a frog. Do you want a frog, Bear?
Yeah. Frog that plays.
Grow.
What else have you got? Bubble gum.
Yeah, I love
And more of it.
Oh, I'm so excited. Better get my sleeve up.
Brilliant, isn't it?
This is amazing. I'm so happy.
And I'm getting the frog.
You're getting a musical frog. That's beautiful.
Look.
Thank you so much.
Look at me. Marble one.
Brilliant.
That's beautiful.
8 please for this one.
You're so talented. I love it.
Wow, let me turn around so I can see your
I'm
name.
gonna wear that every single day.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Merci.
Merci.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Where are you going, Bear?
Which one do you have him?
Show me, Bear.
A
Show
rainbow
me.
one.
Is that what you're having?
Wow, croaking frog. You're going to go and pay then? You're going to go and pay? You need to go ask how much. Bonsoir. Let's go wander back to the boat then, shall we? Let's go and see what these are doing first.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my god, how cool too.
One that black hair looks a bit sad.
Excited to eat all the olives?
Yeah, I love olives. Olives are like the best food ever.
€22.
No. But they're going to be so good.
They're gonna be like,
No, it's
wow.
that price.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Bear's okay, he's just playing with his frog. Do
And I've got my pretty.
you want some olives, Bear?
Yeah, the only ones I like is with pepper.
The green ones with pepper, yeah. Ooh, yum, yum,
But
yum.
they're the only ones.
Oh, we didn't get the ones with garlic, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Got the
Yeah.
one with garlic.
I want the black
What did
ones.
they say about the olives?
Black
It's
olive.
Protected French
This
olives.
country's protected olives, yeah, olive fields, isn't it? Aren't they? This way, guys. Over here. Go back to the boat, look. Woohoo!
What,
To eat.
is it protected as in like green belt?
Join us next week when we sail on to Ile de Groix in the Lorient region of Brittany, northwestern of France. Remember, subscribe, press that like button, and if you want us to continue making these videos and sharing all of our adventures, follow that link to Patreon down below. See you next time, guys!